life depends on it. And I said, kids? Where? Page 132. 2 stars. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. For anyone who's new here, I'm Sophia and I usually love reading. The reason I say usually is kind of the topic of this video. We're gonna be reading 100 pages a day for a week in today's video because I have not read anything for 2 weeks and I really want to try and make a habit out of reading again because I miss it, and I find myself just like getting stuck doom scrolling on TikTok and YouTube when I want to like play a game or I want to draw or I want to read. I just end up scrolling mindlessly and I'm sick of it. So I figured a video is kind of a good way to hold myself accountable to kind of reform that habit of wanting to pick up a book and like just reading in general. So I will be reading, I'm not attempting, I will be reading 100 pages a day for a week. I'm gonna do 5 days out of the 7 because I work 2 9-hour shifts on the weekend and all I want to do on those days is crawl in a hole and die. All I do on those days is go to work, come home and sleep. My current read, and I hate that it's updated from the discreet cover to the man cover, we're gonna have to do something about that. Current read is Sin and Redemption by Cora Riley. I am currently 47 pages in, about 20%. I'm on chapter 6. So today's mission, we are gonna be getting to 147 pages. So I'm gonna read my 100 pages. If I go a little bit over, it's not the end of the world. We love overachieving. But other than reading 100 pages, I do have to do a little bit of work because I've got deadlines coming up, and I also have to go and get a chip in my windscreen fixed, and we have to do some shopping for my niece's birthday in a couple of weeks. We're starting this off on a little bit of a busy day, but it's fine. I'm gonna go get my windscreen repaired and hopefully read some of my book. So I've failed already. Yesterday was just a practice round. In my defense, I had a headache brewing in the vats of hell since the morning, and she finally came to a head in the afternoon when I finally had spare time, and I just couldn't bring myself to read. All I wanted to do was pop a Nurofen and go to sleep. So we're starting from page 59. So we have to get to page 159 today, and I am going to do it this time. Yesterday, we're not talking about it, okay? Today is currently Wednesday. I'm going to be starting on page 59 of Sin and Redemption. It is now a good time to tell you the premise of this book. I feel like never is going to be a good time, so we'll just do it now. This is a dark mafia romance. It is a standalone in her universe, but it does follow like characters from her main series, and the two of them get kidnapped together in the very opening pages of the book. It's on like page 5. They're forced to sleep together to avoid, what's her name, Sarah, being raped by another member of like the kidnappers. And as things would have it, Sarah accidentally falls pregnant. The whole plot of this book, I don't love it. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't love it. But so that all happens and Sarah decides to keep the baby, and Max, given her decision, decides that he should probably be a good dad and step up. And Sarah was previously engaged, but they kind of call off the wedding. I like Max's character. He's like the enforcer, the new enforcer of the Italian familia. I like him. I think he's trying to be a good person. He doesn't have like a whole lot of depth just yet. Now Sarah's character, I feel like I haven't formed a proper opinion on just yet. She is very heavily traumatized, but I feel like it's not written that well. If you're gonna bite off that hectic of a storyline, I'm really expecting you to dive deep into it. I want you to show me that mental anguish that she's going through over keeping the baby. 59 pages in, maybe it'll get more hectic. I'm gonna go keep reading, I guess. Hello everybody. It's currently 10 to 9, if you can see that, probably not. I'm 38% of the way through on page 93, so I've read 36 out of my 100 pages. I hate the way that sounds, but it's fine. And I've got 4.5 hours left of the book of Sin and Redemption. Now, thank God I've only got 4.5 hours left. I'm finding myself really struggling to connect with either of the characters. I don't think the subject matter of the book is something that I A, feel strongly about, or B, particularly care about at this stage in my life. It's about an accidental pregnancy followed by a miscarriage, which a miscarriage, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. That's obviously not a pleasant thing to experience, but for me currently, I'm 21, almost 22. Kids, where kind of thing. So it's just, I'm just struggling to connect to the book, and I think if it was written better, I would be able to connect to it a little bit better. Neither of the characters really have much personality. I'm just like, and I don't really care about either character, and I'm not compelled by the story or by the characters. But anyway, I'm gonna go finish my 100 pages. I'm not sure if you'll see me again tonight because I think I'm probably gonna go for a shower and crawl into bed and let my book send me off to sleep. But trust me when I say, I'm gonna finish those 100 pages. Like, my life depends on it. Long time no see. I figured I should probably update you before I finish my 100 pages for the day. Currently 7:30. I'm on chapter 25. I have 40 minutes left in the book and I'm 89% of the way through. I finished yesterday exactly on page 159 because a chapter ended right then and there, so it kind of worked out perfectly because I think I finished reading at about 11 o'clock at night, and by that point I wanted to go to bed, so I didn't keep reading. Today I restarted on page 159 and I've read so far until page 221. Good news is things are finally getting interesting. Bad news is I have 4 chapters left. I definitely would say that Sin Redemption got incrementally better at the 50% mark, beyond the 50% mark, but I'm still ready for the book to be over, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not in love with the characters. I don't really care for them. I'm not in love with the plot. It's been okay. I've been tolerating it since the 50% mark, but I have 30 pages left. The Kindle says it has 251 pages. I don't know how many of those pages are like about the author. Here's Cora's other series. I don't know how many pages that is, so it's very possibly less than 251 pages, but whatever is left of the 100 page total for the day, I get to read in a new book. I did conveniently film my March TBR yesterday. It's over there on my desk, so we have lots of options to pull from, and hopefully we can move on to a more positive experience, a more positive reading experience for this video. Oh, thank God. 2 stars. I just don't think Sin and Redemption was really for me. I'm sure there's a target audience out there. I think I'm probably gonna have to finally break up with Cora. I say this now, I'll probably still read her next release, whatever that may be. I really want to go back and read some of her backlist and some of the earlier Mafia books because I know for a fact those ones are so much better. How many pages did I read? So that means I need to read 13 pages of another book. Now, I have my March TBR beside me. These are the books that are on it. I'm thinking I want to do another fantasy reading vlog, so we're going to put those to the side for now. I have Lights Out and I have Swift and Saddle by Lila Sage. I'm also have Leave Me Behind by KM Moronova on my TBR this month, which it's like a dark bully military romance where they have a one night stand and then they find out who each other is and they're like on opposing squadrons, working towards the same goal, I believe, but on opposing kind of teams because they have a grudge against each other. And it sounds really good, but part of me is also like, if this book isn't good, I fear it's gonna send me into a big reading slump. Maybe everyone either loves it or hates it, and I don't know where I'm gonna fall. I did, by the way, end up ordering the paperback. Part of me is also just like, I want to read something really short and really easy. I think I'm gonna read the prologue, Patagonia, 2 years ago, in Bones's point of view, and then I'll decide if I want to read this book or not. Dude, I'm not ready for that book right now. I'm gonna read Swift and Saddled. This one is about like a ranch manager who enlists the help of an interior designer to help him renovate some of the buildings on his property into like Airbnb kind of things, holiday homes. We love a little bit of enemies to lovers and like reluctant working together. So I am hopefully gonna like this one. I'll probably low-key be thinking about leaving behind the whole time, but I know for the sake of my mental health, I cannot do that right now. Good morning, everybody. Mind my appearance, pretty please. I am going out later, so in preparation for that I did get some reading in this morning. Look at me actually being organized and not procrastinating. I finished last night on page 22, so I read from page 22 to page 72, currently on chapter 10. You guys, I miss my cowboy romances. I fear I'm back in my small town cowboy era. Wes, he is so hot. He has like, oh my god. So what's happened so far? Wes and Ada have met at the Devil's Boot, which is kind of like the local bar, and they've like had this initial attraction. They've had a cheeky little kiss in the hallway, which was probably for the best that it got broken up by Brooks. The next morning rolls around and Ada shows up at Wes's place at Rebel Blue Ranch to get started on this like renovation. And who happens to greet her but Wes? I'm not doing that explanation justice whatsoever because the way I was giggling and kicking my feet, oh my god. I truly do think it's safe to say that Lila Sage has redeemed herself from Done and Dusted. Not that Done and Dusted was bad, it just wasn't my favorite. I think there was a few things just like, there's just a few things that I didn't quite like about it. This is exactly what I needed right now. It's honestly just encapsulating the little like small town cowboy romance yeehaw perfectly. I do need to go in 10 minutes, so we're gonna hurry this along. And another thing that's adding a little bit more tension, we haven't really seen it come to a head yet. I'm only 70 pages in, of course we haven't. But Ada is having to stay with Wes and his dad because the like guest house is out of action. It got flooded. So I'm waiting for like something to happen for them to bump into each other like in the night or something, and just all of the tension. Oh my god, the tension is gonna be insane. Even now it's insane. Just the fact that they had that little kiss and now they're having to fight feelings for each other. Hey! Was planning on reading my 100 pages earlier, had a nap instead. Desperately needed it, so I'm not complaining. I have some updates for you. So today is currently Tuesday. I ended up working yesterday, Monday as well, so I didn't read yesterday. But Friday I read from page 22 to page 132, so I read 110 pages. Today I'm starting out on page 132. I'm currently on page 152. Somehow the chapters in this book are working out as like perfect 10-page increments. So I've read 20 pages so far this year. So far this day. I am going to read my 100 pages because I'm feeling revitalized now. I've actually got energy. I think it's probably safe to say that I'm really freaking enjoying Swift and Saddled because I bought Lost and Lassoed as well. This is such an improvement on Done and Dusted. I am obsessed with this book. Could be heading for a 5-star. And for a 303-page book, that is a bold statement. But hey, I'm really freaking enjoying it. I really like Ada. I'm seeing a lot of myself in her, which... but I also really like Wes. Wes is like the kind of stereotypical nice guy, but not in a really gross, egotistical, I'm the nice guy kind of way. My ring light is also broken. I don't know if I can't remember if I said that earlier. I think a wire is loose or something because it just doesn't turn on anymore, but that's why. The lighting is horrific. I'm really sorry. I had a nap. So I could turn the overhead lights on, but I'm not an overhead light person. I like ambience. I have more. They just kissed. Oh, I've got an eyelash in my eye. They just kissed for the second time. And it went to a little bit more than kissing because, you know, set the scene, okay? Late night in the kitchen, Ada's gone home, I can't fucking talk. Ada's gone down to pop some popcorn. Wes stumbles in. Oh no, I can't reach the popcorn on the top shelf. I'm so small. Not like that. She didn't say that at all. I didn't get that vibe whatsoever. Ada's actually a little bit of a tall girl. I think she's like 5'6", 5'7". Anyway, Wes got the popcorn down from the top shelf for her, popped it, and things got a little steamy. What can I say? I'm gonna pick up where I left off, which I think is the day after the little steamy moment. And we're gonna see how things go. Bonjour. Hello everybody. I put a full face of makeup on, but I washed my hair and I've not done anything with it, and I've been wearing headphones, so it looks a bit. We're not gonna talk about it. How has my 100 pages a day challenge been going? It was going really well until yesterday. So full transparency, the last clip you saw from me, it was on Tuesday, today's Thursday. Was planning on reading 100 pages yesterday afternoon. I was all geared up for it, ready to go, excited to finish my book. And then I got a phone call from my dad. I work during the week. I'm contracted to the same workplace as my dad to draw like really detailed schematics of their experiment setups. He's a scientist essentially. He's a researcher, so I'm contracted to their company for like all of their researchers to come to me to draw their experiments for them to put in their research papers, which is a really cool job. I love it. But my dad called me yesterday and he was like, how's that drawing going that I need for the conference in 2 weeks? And I was like, oh yeah, it's fine. We'll be ready for the conference. And he said, can we have it by Friday? And I said, so all night yesterday, all afternoon, from the minute he called me to the minute I went to sleep, basically, I was just doing that drawing for him. It's finished now though, so that's fantastic news. It mean I didn't get to read my pages because things crop up when you're vaguely self-employed. Day 4, whenever it was, I managed to read 153 pages from page 332 to page 285, which meant that I officially finished Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. And I can proudly say this book was a 4.5 star. I loved this book so much. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting. I wasn't, as I've said, the biggest fan of Done and Dusted, but you can really see how much progress and development that Lila has made as an author when comparing her first book and this second book, because oh my god, the next book that I have already started, I started it about 3 hours ago, I want to say. It's currently 5:20 on Thursday, but the book that I've started is Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova. I felt that once I had mentioned this earlier in the video that I couldn't really leave you guys on too much of a cliffhanger and that I should probably read it, and it was a good choice. I'm quite enjoying it. The writing style is not bad by any means, but it's not my favorite. I'm just very aware of the fact that I'm reading and sort of the characters are giving a little bit of pick-me energy, but I feel like that's always going to be present in dark romance because there's always going to be an element of like mystique and like I'm not like anybody else kind of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go keep reading. I've read, where am I actually up to in it? I think I'm up to ooh, that's a great question. I think I'm up to, yes, I'm up to chapter 5, which is page 63. It's like page 58 on Kindle, I think. Okay, so technically in the paperback I've read 60 pages, page 3 to page 63. But on the Kindle I think I've read, it starts on page 8 and I've read 54 pages. So which one are we gonna go off? I am primarily reading on my Kindle, so I think I'm gonna go off this page count, but the story started on page 8. I'm up to page 54, so I've technically read 46 pages, I think. So I want to get to page 108 on the Kindle version. But yeah, I'm gonna go keep reading. I'm a little bit disappointed on myself that I missed a day of my own 100 pages, but such is life. Yeah, we're just gonna keep going like nothing happened, okay? Like nothing happened. Hello everybody, welcome to the final check-in of this video. We've finally reached today is day 6, but I didn't give you an update for day 5. So day 5, I started Leave Me Behind by K.M. Moronova. What was the last you heard of that? I think I had been reading it for like a couple of chapters. Day 5, I read from page 8 till page 114. I really thought I read more than that. Anyway, that's 100 pages, page 8 to page 114. I'm on chapter 13. I'm 32% of the way through this book. Let me hold up the physical. Where do I start? I don't think I'm mentally sound enough to be reading this book right now. I have had crippling anxiety since basically the moment I started reading it, which I'm so mad about because I used to be able to read dark romance so easily and like gobble it up, but now it just makes me so anxious, which is so sad. But I'm gonna keep reading Leave Me Behind anyway because I'm enjoying it somewhat. It's taking bully romance to the extreme, let's just say. Both of them, it's two-sided. They kind of want to kill each other. So yeah, that's where we're at. They're currently deep in a forest on this mission and they are doing the mission, but they also keep trying to kill each other, which I didn't realize that's what I was signing up for. I knew it would be bully romance, but I didn't know it would be quite that extreme, but it's fine. I'm gonna keep reading it. I'm not minding it. The writing style I think has improved a little bit. I'm not like constantly conscious of the fact that I'm reading, which is nice. I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it by the end because I know that if the male main character who was kind of the instigator of killing each other. If he comes around, I know he has the potential to be a good character, like just from that glimpse that we had at the beginning of the book. And they have little moments of like, oh, I don't actually want to kill you, let me take care of you for 2 seconds, I took it too far. So I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it. Interesting book so far. It's not the worst recommendation I've gotten off of Book Talk by far. I'm actually somewhat enjoying it, to be fair. If you're a big fan of dark romance, I would 1000% recommend this one because it definitely goes there. Definitely goes there. I would like to get this vlog up tomorrow or maybe early next week, so I'm probably not gonna have another update for you. As I said, I'll update you in a future video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so sorry this vlog turned out to be so like higgledy-piggledy. Nothing quite went to plan. I had so many different plans crop up that I just wasn't expecting, which interfered with my plans, but it's fine. We made it to the end. We did 5 full days of 100 pages each day, and yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe because I would love to have you here, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!